How you doing?
Ah, now it says live. Yeah.
Luke is outside. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Great.
like in a jungle, like trying to figure out all the math and statistic shit, and the only way I can escape is to go outside.
Yeah, it looks very tropical.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, pretty good. Where's that? It's Slovenia.
Slovenia, yeah.
Cool.
I'm actually waiting to leave Slovenia, but now I'm waiting for some examination of the knee and something, so I have to be here.
Is that all right? Okay, so you have a problem in your knees.
Yeah, something with the knee, and I have to just I need to just know what it is, so then
Okay.
so then I travel on.
So where are you planning to go?
Colombia, I guess.
Colombia, all right.
Yeah,
Cool.
there's like a few nice places there on the north, and it's Caribbean Sea, and it's like it's cheap, nice, and good weather, and it's much better than home. You know, it's always better to be somewhere else.
Cool. So you're planning to actually leave there for good?
I mean, not for good. Basically, I'm traveling around the world now for about 3 years or so. The only reason I'm here back home now is because of this knee problem. So.
All right. Okay. I see. Well, I hope you get it sorted. I see John saying hello as well.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ah, good. It all works. It all works. That's amazing. Wow.
Excellent.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. How you been doing? Coping with the heat?
Well, thankfully the heat's dropped off. It was 43 for about 3 days, and you know, it's not a country of air conditioning, so yeah, it's pretty uncomfortable, but it's okay.
Wow, 43. Yeah.
Where are you now?
I'm home. Blackheath in London.
Oh, you're still. Oh, right, you're in England. No, I was just checking because you never know. Everyone seems to travel around so much.
Not me.
No, right.
Yeah, I'm still in London.
So you had a hangout last week, did you?
Yep.
Yes, we did, but unfortunately we didn't record that session. But I tried to put all the topics in the minutes document, which is in the shared folder. You know, the Google Drive folder.
Right. I think because somehow or other, as you know, I missed a whole load of the tabs or the channels and stuff. I think that somehow or other, because I joined a bit late, that I missed some of this stuff. And I went back and read much of it, but I didn't find the minutes. But anyway, that's okay. That's
so
okay.
if you go on general, I don't know if are you on your computer, in your laptop, or phone?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go on your Slack, and then I think it can be any channel really. No, I think it has to be the general channel.
Yes.
At the top there is a pin image and number 2 next to it. And then if you click on it, you can see the pinned messages, and one of them is from me, which is the Google Drive link.
Is it your files? Because I don't have a pinned one. I know on Slack, I've got the Slack app.
No, it's not. Oh, you have the app. I don't know how it works. Well, I can just share it again.
How do I share it? Screen share.
I also use app for Slack. There is a pin here. So.
Oh.
Can you see my screen?
Well, let me check.
Nope.
Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, now with this, you're talking about this tab here, and I've got
no. So right where it says general at the top.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Hash general. Yeah, just underneath it there is a star, and then yeah, there you go. Click on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm used to using now the Rocket Chat. I didn't realize. Okay, so there's two. Okay, right. I will look at that.
One is Ralph's document, which is the original one, and then we've created a spreadsheet where everyone can add their, like is much more well divided. Dennis has created that spreadsheet for us.
Yes, I mean I filled out that spreadsheet, the one with our aspirations and who we are, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I saw your name there.
Yeah, so that's that document. Okay, so I got half of it. I just didn't get the other half. I'll look at that later. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And I've shared my trading plan.
Yes,
I think Josh has shared his trading plan as well.
I think Steve did.
Or Steve, yeah, I'm not sure who was that shared the trading plan as well. Yeah, it's Steve. Sorry.
It was. I said I wrote it up as soon as I saw that I'm very grateful for that. That's super good, because it's funny building our own trading plans in a vacuum. And once I've done a trading plan now, which I haven't really done properly, I will share it too, in the spirit of sharing, because I'm so pleased to have a couple of examples. That was very good.
Excellent. Good. Very good. Yeah, and also if you go to the root folder of the Google Drive, then you see a folder called Minutes, which I probably won't be adding anything to it since we're going to be recording all our sessions. So. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Right. Minutes. I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was all here. I do apologize. I should know all this, but I've taken a while to catch up with much of this stuff. So yes, jolly good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Good.
It's okay. We are learning.
I think Max is struggling to get into the session. I can see 3 others connected, but I get an error on the Hangout screen. Maybe try without the YouTube bit. Oh. All right, that's weird. Can see you as well, Dennis. Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Rick is going for a walk.
Yeah, I just changed my position. I can't sit with a laptop on my knees, so it's better to. I don't have light. Sorry.
Is it starting to get dark there?
Yeah. Just about to, yeah.
Someone is listening to Dire Straits.
So. Yeah. Here's like this is some kind of like hippie place, like
hippie place. All right.
Yeah,
I think for Mike, is it Mike who can't get in, or Max?
No, it's Max.
Max, right? Yeah, because if he's not using Chrome, then he will have more difficulty. Chrome works well with Hangout, of course, the same company.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
Oh!
Oh, there you go. It worked.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. So shall we start?
Yes.
Have you got Mike?
Cool. There's some dog barking in the background.
Yeah. I told you it's a hippie place.
Yeah, hippies always have lots of dogs.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they have sex all the time. So like the dogs and people.
With the dogs?
With everything.
Dogs, yeah.
All right. Okay. In some countries that's actually a crime.
What, to have a sex with a dog or what?
Yeah, with any animal actually.
Oh.
Well,
Hi, Mike. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Yeah, I'm trying out my new funky earset thing, headset.
Yeah, big one. Oh yeah, colorful.
Yeah, shiny.
Nice.
With colors, yeah. Like
Yeah, I didn't know it had lights on it. Oh well.
Something that come from the Tron movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. So. Luca.
Yo.
It's quite loud. The background noise there.
Ah, okay. Good. Don't worry. We'll find some other place.
A bit quieter by the river. Just
We'll
be
find something
Just
else.
be careful not to fall in.
With the computer and everything, huh?
Yeah. All right. First thing that I thought we should be discussing is the first topic that Raf has suggested, actually, which is all the objectives, the group objectives. What do you guys think?
yeah, good place to start. Do you remember which channel he put the link in?
Yeah, general.
General, and it's a pinned message.
Okay, cool.
So if you go to the pinned message, you see. Sorry, I'm in the wrong channel here. General, and then pinned messages. Then there's a message from me, which has the link for the Google Drive.
Okay, got you.
I was thinking about the common goals. I can share it like as an idea. Are you ready? I mean, can I?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Do you give me a permission? Okay. So usually when I was running the groups like this, it was good idea to start everything with a mastermind model. So it works very simple, and it's like everyone says what his biggest problem is, and the other is making notes or trying to help. That's like very structured thing that we're doing anyway.
Okay.
So that is just the idea that we can start with. Then the other thing is, I think it would be very useful in any case, whatever we decide. One of the goals should be accountability. So if each and every one of us is setting himself a goal or homework to be done until next week, that kind of works as kind of an incentive to really do it. So it doesn't matter what it is, but just kind of saying it loud in front of everybody works usually. Well, these are my ideas.
Okay.
And there is another thing that, like, this is one of the things that I'm working on. I don't know whether you think it's a good idea, whether you think it's useful or not, but I'm working on an idea to build a robust backtesting machine. I found out that like PineScript in TradingView is really very basic, very, very basic. So once real ideas with real configuration start to kick in, it's just like it's impossible to code it. It's not impossible, but instead of 20 lines of code, you would need like 500 or 1,000.
Okay, so it's very time consuming.
To code, yes.
Did anyone look at that CryptoRoo spreadsheet that one of the level? I think he started it when he was level 1. I think he's in level 3 now. CryptoRoo. I mentioned something about it on the Slack channel the other day.
The screener, right?
The altcoin screener.
Yeah, is that what you're talking about, Luca? That you want to develop, or
that screener was done basically it combines the fundamental analysis, some scores that are manually add in as a fundamental analysis, and then it's combined with technical analysis, which takes into account the Fibonacci levels, and then it also takes into account some idea of volume increase. So this is I think it's too many things at the same place. Especially, it's good for key ideas, but building from that on, it's very hard. No, but that.
Luca, your voice is cutting a bit. I'm not sure if it's only for me.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was broken up.
No, it was breaking. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm a little. I have bad battery. Okay, so do you hear me now?
Yeah. Better now.
Okay, so this screener is done on Google Sheets. So the engine behind is Google Sheets. So it's not TradingView, it's Google Sheets. Then in TradingView, only technical analysis can be done, not fundamental analysis in any way.
So does that mean it's not live, the screener?
You can refresh it.
No, everything is live.
Oh, okay.
That's not a problem. But maybe the screener from made with Google Sheets, the only limitation there is that CoinMarketCap caps the amount of calls you can make to the search server. But no, so let me just be clear. What I'm thinking of doing, or I started doing, is really robust data analysis tool. Because everything that we use is good, but once if one would like to develop a real bot and back test it, it's just not enough. It's just like the tools are not comprehensive enough to do it.
See, for me, I want to just learn how to start trading. I want to get my trying my
trading
average,
plan.
my win. Well, just actually start doing my paper trades and getting to know the setups and getting practice. That's my priority.
Okay.
I think at this stage.
I think I sympathize with Mike. My paper trades are mostly losers. I would say 80% of them are losing trades, especially now with this market. So it's pretty much, like try to find why actually those are mostly losing trades. I think what Luca is saying is very interesting. Sounds very, very interesting.
But Luca, can you just explain the purpose of it? My understanding of the backtesting would be that it would look at an individual setup, look back at the history on TradingView for a pair, and would see how that would have traded if you exactly applied those setups.
Exactly. So the point of having a trading plan is to have really exact rules and to really know how to act in the market, like going on, whether it's divergence in MACD or doing this or that. Like it really boils down to very specific numbers, and if the system can backtest any idea, then this is the same direction as we are all going. Develop the trading plan, very exact trading plan, but maybe just like a little bit different approach. So I'm not trying to really say that this should be a goal of the group. It's just one of the ideas that I'm working on, and just wanted to share that that this is one of the ideas, like one of the
basically. I was trying to create some bots some time ago, and maybe we can have a chat offline. And so I have some history which I have been collecting basically in the database. So maybe you can use something like that. So, but yeah.
The idea would be to validate the setups and prove that they achieve a 70%.
Or maybe just to give, if not fully automated, but at least to give you some signals so you can just come and validate them manually and to do the trade. So instead of sitting basically behind the chart all the time, the system could basically notify you there is a potential signal for that setup, and you can just go and validate it and perform the trade.
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
I have a friend who's written an entirely Python bot that completely trades outside TradingView with its own API key, that's taking its data directly from the various exchanges and trading on those exchanges, including BitMEX. And it is surprisingly profitable. And he's developed it himself. He's a good Python coder. What I'm working on with him now is a halfway version from that, because what that makes you is a very lazy trader insofar as you're just a coder. So I'm working with him. He's a very close friend. In fact, James met him on the second night or third night or whatever. I was hoping that all you guys would meet him if you'd met with Brian the second night. Brian was in London. Anyway, he's the idea of the development now is to develop something that goes through and identifies all the setups that a trading bot easily can, and then throws that up as for you to qualify. And the qualification that is very difficult to do with a bot is things like seeing divergence in MACD, histogram, and those sorts of things. That's the idea is the bot will hunt for this stuff. So instead of you sitting down an hour a day hunting for bot setups or El Tanganator setups, it will go out and hunt for those and throw them up. And then you say, that's a good one, I'll take it because we've got divergence here, or it's not right. So that's the current project, and I will keep you posted, but it's a different version. If anybody's interested in his actual trading bot, there's a Telegram group that people can be invited to, and it puts the calls up there. It doesn't mean you have a connection with an API. It just means you can see the calls.
But is he sharing like all the source code and everything?
Absolutely not. Not even with me. He's just that kind of guy. He's a good old friend.
Yeah, sure.
It's unfortunately, and that's why I take less interest in that, because of course then it's his thing and what have you. But as a qualifier, so it will make a call for a long or a short on XLM, BTC, and then you can look at your chart and decide. That's its current version. The next version will be one that looks for technical setups to the point that it can look, and then you have to qualify it with divergence on MACD or whatever it would be that your final qualifier would be, if that makes sense. But the call will be set.
Is that the Shellcoin screener you're talking about?
It's kind of like that, yes. It's a Shellcoin screener, you could say, or even a Euro BTC or dollar BTC, so that it will constantly hunt for when a certain setup comes, and then throw that up at you and say, right, this is where it's at, and then you can look at it and qualify it and then take the trade if you choose to, as opposed to trading automatically through an API, which his current one does.
More of an alert system.
But his current one throws up all the calls on a Telegram group, a private Telegram group, and it just says, I mean, I can share my screen and show you what they look like if you're interested.
Oh, yes, please.
How do I do the share thing again?
Is this group free to join, or?
I will ask him if he's willing. You know, like all these things, we're just developing it. Where's the share thing? Okay, so so this would be let me see. This would be a standard call. So trade now, Bitcoin Cash, BTC. It's the Manta Ray bot. The date is exit, so it would have opened earlier. Profitability on return 11.2%, and that would be the call. And the buy will be somewhere else. Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin. You know, so closed out 18% profit, closed out fill price. Oh no, there's an entry. So this is how it currently calls, like this. For us to view, or for me to view,
Signals.
Yes, it's a signal. I mean, he's got it wired up to a trading bot. He's not interested in trading necessarily. He's privately wealthy, doesn't need to really. He does this for fun, but we're developing one that will fire off a signal like this, put it on a Telegram group or whatever, that will look for certain setups. So you might put in the bot setup or the Tanganator setup. But with those setups, it's very hard to put a for things like I think divergence in and certain patterns in OBV. So you have your levels, 3 higher lows, continuation trade, and then you say, right, it looks good because I can now see the divergence in MACD and W crossing the OBV crossing the OBV EMA line, for example. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that looks pretty powerful.
Well, his current bot's bonkersly good. Yeah, I mean, and this is in the full bear market. It's been trading nicely. So,
if you could ask whether we can join.
Yeah, that'd be
yes,
great.
I will, and see how he goes. I know he doesn't want to spread it around, or more like he was. I don't know. I'll talk to him. He's a nice guy. It was a pity we didn't get to meet him, because on the second night we were all supposed to go and meet, and they were waiting to meet, and then of course Brian did the Coinage show, the show and so on. Anyway, but it's fine. It's always better face to face. But it's something that's worth me. I'll approach it, and if we've got a reasonably tight group. I know that he won't make this public, just because of the nature of him. He's a coder, basically. I'm a very bright chap and just does it for fun. So we'll see how that goes. If you're interested, it's worth my effort, in other words.
I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, just ask if all of us can join.
Is that the same type of thing that you were talking about, Luca?
Sorry?
Is that the same sort of concept that you were talking about, or are you doing something different?
Yeah. Of course, like at the end, the only language, the scripting language with a lot of support and a lot of libraries is Python. So it's the most it's probably the best language for making a bot. And yes, that's it. Yes, APIs, and then just trade based on the really exactly back-tested ideas. So that is my idea, and I'm working on it. It might take some more time. So I'm working with one coder, and he's just a stoner. He just smokes weed all the time, and probably I'm just going to drown him or something. But anyway. So this is something that I'm working on, and I believe it is one way. It is one direction that I'm going to. So it is not necessary. It is not necessary that this is really goal of yours. However, I believe that like in future there is going to be more and more algorithmic trading, more and more fast decision making requirements to be profitable in market, and I think I'm pretty sure that the decision to go algorithmic trading is good, especially because it's the same as the idea from Brian Beamish. So it's like algorithmic trading. This, and that. Check. Boom in.
Yeah, I think it's what most of the whales are doing nowadays, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just looking at algorithms, and
Exactly.
they might have a team of traders doing the
encoders.
Actual calls are done by real people, but the algorithms are searching for all the patterns all the time.
Yeah, so real people pull the trend.
Yeah, well, I can suggest that it's very difficult to backtest these, and I can't really tell you why, because it's quite technical, but backtesting continuously failed. What we've been doing with this one is forward testing it slowly, and it's like steering a car. So it takes refinement going forward. Refinement going backwards for various reasons didn't work, and you think it would do with the data you can get, but there's all sorts of anomalies with data. And so going forward, he started trading small amounts, 0.01 of a Bitcoin, and slowly increased that as the confidence and as the refinements have been made. So if the idea a lot of people have is you bang out a bot and you back test it and then you let it loose, and I would say that's beyond expectations, just from our experience. And I am not the person who writes the code by any stretch.
I mean, absolutely. Like writing a code means like the first phase is cleaning the data, and like it is a process to it, of course. And I'm not a coder by myself. I did some coding, but I'm not afraid of this. Yeah. But like I'm also trying to get in through the setups and everything. So maybe we're spending too much time here with this idea, because if in the group there were additional 2 coders, then we could do it together. Now it's just like useless. It doesn't matter.
No, as I said, I am kind of a coder, but I don't have experience with Python. But as I said, we can discuss it basically either in a group or just in a Slack, and then see what can be done.
Okay, cool.
And then
I'm a hardware engineer. I've done quite a lot of C, but as the same as Max, I don't have experience with Python.
Well, it should be straightforward. But we can, if something's will start shaping out, we can always create a channel in Slack so everybody can see what is happening and contribute with some ideas. But yeah, let's have a chat basically in the Slack and then see whether I can help or But
would that be a long-term objective of the group then?
I personally want to have some sort of automated way of getting signals, at least signals. Ideally, if I had a profitable bot which can do many nibbles or something, but what I mean by that is just taking small profits, not with huge, with the right money management, like with 10% of the capital, then why not?
I would suggest we kind of not try to decide. Let's just kind of put all of the ideas into one place, and then we see what should we go for.
Yeah, I think the main purpose of the group. So I understand where Luca is coming from, because I have been trying to do some automation, and that's why I started to collect some data to do some tests as well. But I think the idea of the group is for us, all of us, to be comfortable in taking the trades, because at the moment, I'm not really comfortable at all, to be honest. So I'm just getting frustrated by seeing Bitcoin going down, and then having a frustration that I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
So like today, I saw that it dropped basically. Oh, since yesterday, it dropped 300 euros. In this case, I was monitoring Coinbase, and I was thinking, okay, shall I buy? And then now it's 300 euros up. So now I'm frustrated that I didn't do that. And
well, may I suggest something? I think we're all struggling with the same thing, like how to pull the trigger, right? And when to know to pull the trigger, and then either it's too late or anything. So the way I'm doing now, I'm manually backtesting ideas. That's what I'm doing now.
I understand that. So you mean replaying the trading view? I tried that. So one of the problems which I personally have is I know we need to have proper trading plan, but probably I don't have a proper trading plan, because I'm still trying to decide on it, because I can't spend a lot of time behind the laptop watching on the charts, because I have a day job and kids, etc. So I'm just trying to find a right strategy for me, basically to allocate, let's say, 1 hour per day. And for that, I need to think about what kind of plan I can use for that. Because there are different plans for like day trading, for swing trading, for range trading. And I can't really select one at the moment.
So my thoughts on that, I know what you're saying. I have similar issue, but I think I've had a bit of a brain freeze here. What was I about to say? Yeah, that's it. I need to look at different time frames to see what I'm most successful at. So at the moment, I've been looking at. I think Grim suggested the hourly trades that the charts I was looking at were too small. So I've started looking at 4 hours, doing changing hours and dailies just to see what I'm most successful at. But my plan three-stage set Tanganator and the bot. So far I've not even studied the bot or the Altanganator yet, but I've just been focusing on the 3-step setup.
So basically, the short-term goal of the group for me and of all we're doing, first of all, I also put in that spreadsheet to be accountable. So probably to get some tasks, or at least to say out loud what I'm going to do next week, and then probably quickly go through that next week that I have actually done that. But the goal is be comfortable with reading charts and basically have a plan. This is a short-term goal.
Okay, I think the whole purpose of having a plan is that it is a living document, right? So you choose, like what Mike said, you choose like Altanganator and bot, let's say, which is what I chose as well to do. And then you start paper trading those, and you see how successful you are, and you see if those are the right choices for you. Because at the end of the day, is actually, you know, just see if you can make money with those, and if they're working for you, they work for you, and you stick with those. If they don't work for you, choose another thing and try something else. That's what I'm doing right now. Which I'm not being very successful at.
Yeah, well, also I put there, I think on those hangouts, maybe we can have a section where all of us can bring our trades, or especially failed trades, and then we can discuss what we think about them, and what, if it was a failed trade, what probably could have been improved there.
True.
May I suggest that an approach to this is that everybody in this group and every trader will have areas that that they understand well, and it might be they're really good at divergence studies, or they're really good at spotting I don't know, market structure. And this really, once you get practicing, you get to notice what you actually find yourself being called to, and that really does inform your trading style. And what was being said earlier about whether it's a 4-hour, 1 day, and so on, all those things become apparent, especially if you've only got an hour a day. I mean, you're never going to be trading on 1 hour or 4-hour candles successfully, I wouldn't have thought. I think that what I'm trying to say is we're jumping the gun a bit. You know, most of us are not successful traders yet, and that and need to do some time and then decide what sort of trade you are, because it will become apparent. This will, you won't have a choice in essence.
Yeah, sure, but I think you have to start somewhere, and that's what I said when you know, like you might watch the daily briefs and whatever. And then, or even when you were doing the level 1 course, and then some of the setups caught your attention because, or either you understood them better, and I would say, well, if you understand them better, that means you're better at identifying that trade or that setup, and then just stick with that one, do some paper trades, see how successful you are, and if you're successful at that, keep on using it. If you're not, then try something else.
Yeah.
I think we are very theoretical about it. The reality is we all have like hour or 2 hours a day, or how many hours you have, I don't know. And basically, the important thing is we do the right thing to move on, to become better. And this is very theoretical, that something whether it appeals to you, then you take it. Otherwise, you don't. The problem is that we're not even there. You are having like 10 setups, 10 ways to go about it, and you don't know what to do. So this is at least what I experience.
You know what can help us to be accountable in paper trading is that I know that in one of the TRI groups, I think it was day trading, they created a spreadsheet for paper trading, not just for one person, but for everybody.
Yeah, it was in Grim's class. So I put a couple of trades on there.
Yeah, so if we had something like that, I don't know, what do you think if we had a spreadsheet for our group where we would have our names and then there would be several columns like enter, which setup you used, and then basically third column win or lose, or win or loss, or something like that.
Yeah, and what maybe divide by different sheets for each sort of setup as well.
Yeah, definitely for each setup.
It can be like that. The spreadsheet, which I think it was in day trading group, what they were using, they were just having several. I can try to find it. They were using.
You could always filter the data. You could always, if it was on one worksheet, you could always filter it just to show the setup.
Yeah, I think it's a better approach than having separate tabs. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. We can always change it if it doesn't fit. If it is a good idea, we just need to set it up. To me, it can be, I don't know, different tabs for different setups. I don't know. To me, the main point is to do the trades and to see whether they are profitable and to know what setup you used. So let me just try to find it.
I think it's an excellent idea, a really good idea to publicize what you do and whether it wins or loses, and to follow it through and to put it up for everyone to see. I think it's a fabulous idea. And yes, Grim's one, we could just use the same sheet as Grim uses.
I can show you. I can show you the one which was set up on the day trading group if you want. So how do I share the? Because now I use Chrome, I can't see how to share the screen here.
If you go to the top left of your screen, the menu will pop
Yeah, I can see screen share. Yeah. Okay, it was different last time. And how do I? Yeah, I have so many windows. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the actual, and I can't. Just a moment.
Has anyone started watching the week 12, the final lecture yet?
No.
That was a horrible silence. That means that nobody is.
Because I was going to try and do it, and because I'm meant to be going on holiday next week, so I was going to try and finish it and do the exam on Sunday.
Do you know what happens if you fail the exam? I think you have to retake the course.
No, you're taking it one more time. No problem.
So can you see my screen now?
Oh yeah.
So basically, this is how it looks. You can see names here, and you can see the header, which is kind of frozen, and it has links to different setups from the TRI. And basically, you can see everybody has it. I also had my name there. I did some trades, and then I just didn't have time. But you can see dates on the. This is a day trading group, and this is how it looks like. So basically, setup which was used when, because it is a day trading, they were using when it was basic kill zone, New York kill zone, or something like that. Because they were trying to understand whether it was. Actually, they were trying to trade during the first hour of certain kill zones.
Yeah.
And then risk reward, win or loss, and then exit screenshot. So you see the entrance on the left, and then you can see the exit on the right, and you can see whether it was a win or loss. So that's how it looks like in here.
That's very good. Can you? Is it possible to copy that? I don't know how that works.
Probably yes.
File, make a copy.
Make a copy, yeah. So I'm not logged in on this particular one, but I will make a copy and then we can, yeah, use
Copy,
it.
paste the URL in Slack.
Do we need to have access to it?
I don't think so, but this one is a day trading, so we just need to copy it and then, well, we just copy it and then I will just...
on that Google Drive, the TRI study group, Google Drive.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I don't know if you...
And then we can do that. Okay.
Sure. I think it's a good idea. We could also just, just have
because
a different spreadsheet with different setups, and then we put just the name of who actually posted the idea there, right next to the all the enter, exit, and profit levels. Why did you take the trade? A snapshot of your idea, either TradingView or Coinergy.
Because at the end of the week, so then if we had that spreadsheet, first of all, we would be probably accountable because especially if we were to decide our trades on the Hangout, especially losing trades, and to try to analyze them, then it would kind of motivate you to do some trades because you wouldn't want to come without any trades on the meeting.
Yeah, sure. I think it should be some sort of objective for each week. So every week we post 2 or 5 or whatever 10 ideas per week, and we discuss about them. If they are losing trades, we analyze why why that's the reason. And if it's a winning trade, then why did it turn into a winning trade?
I was thinking as well that we could do, because I've posted a few charts. I think a few some charts the other day. I think Dennis, I saw some of your charts. If we put a setup up that we're thinking of going into, a trade we're thinking of taking, like that one that I did. It's on the screen now. On the I put in the alts yesterday. I wasn't sure whether it was a W that I'd found or not, but it was an EOS, the EOS trade. I paper traded it. I logged it in my spreadsheet. I wasn't sure whether I had a W or not. So maybe we can have a thing that if two other people on the Slack group kind of say, yeah, we think that's worth taking, maybe we could bounce, before actually pulling the trigger until we learn this stuff, maybe just wait until 1 or 2 other people say, yeah, I think that looks worth doing.
Yeah, I think it was Dennis who posted an idea today, which I thought it wasn't a valid W, and he was saying, okay, if because the 2 lows were actually at the same level, and I believe that 2 lows should be the second low should be higher than the first low if you were looking for a bullish W or a bullish signal, sort of price structure. I think all that should be documented in a trading plan or a group trading plan, so that we know what we are looking for in signals, and like what sort of price structure we're looking for. I saw that Dennis was also mixing, like price structure with trend lines as well. I think that's a bit dangerous when you start, mixing too many things together. So that's why a trading plan is very important. So you define what you're looking for.
That's comments as well, Carlos. And that's one of the issues I've got, as some other people might have, is I'm trying to take in too much information. So rather than just relying on a setup and limiting myself to that, I'm looking at other things that I think might impact on it as well. And as a result, probably I'm not doing enough trades.
As I was saying before, I'm far from a good trader because, I have 80% of my trades, my paper trades, are actually failing trades. I've done quite well with my little old ladies, but with my setups, I'm failing miserably.
I mean, if we're talking about alts, right? Then most probably we can go over this alt index, which is kind of used all around the community, and this alt index still is pointing down. So expecting the alt to go up and longing it right now is not the right time if we consider the alt index to give us any reliable information.
Yeah, I think it's quite dangerous. Yeah.
So now, if we are asking ourselves why are we losing, it's very logical. The alt market is pointing down, and if we are longing the market, that's the main reason. And it's not a matter of setup or anything. It's just a matter of this objective fact that it's going down.
Yeah, it's just that the whole market is going down. So if you're going against the flow, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if the whole market is falling down. Look, so if I may, I will just try to. I will share the screen. So I will just. Do you have my screen right now? Just tell me.
Yeah.
If we just go very fast, just a second. We'll just change the. So I just prepared a little overview. Where are we, right? So and this is here is the Bitcoin, right? This is Bitcoin versus dollar, right? And RSI 14 is showing us that like momentum is going up. The fact that the price action went down to reload zone is very healthy, nothing wrong. So I would still say that the Bitcoin market is uptrending. Now, above the Bitcoin, I have Bittrex alt index. This Bittrex alt index line. This is it, right? And we can see that it's pointing down, 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 down. And here is the RSI. So this is momentum of the index, and it's pointing down, but it's turning slowly up. You see. So that is something that we can just have as a frame what is going on in the market. Now, if I change from daily study to 4-hourly study, things are a little better. So here you can see. Let's just wait for the alt index to be calculated. Okay, so now the alt index is showing a lot of W's here, and the lows are higher and higher, which is showing us that the momentum of the alts is going up. However, the price, it's only starting to turn a little bit. Okay, so this is my explanation. This is what I see in the market right now. So if we resolve, if the Bitcoin resolve bullishly, it's very likely that the whole alt market is going to wake up. However, if the Bitcoin goes slower, so if I draw here the previous reload zone, I mean the current reload zone, which is here. This is the reload zone. So we are slightly above in spot market. Okay, we are on OK Exchange, on OK Exchange and on BitMEX. We've kind of we kind of stepped into the reload zone, but on spot market, on Bitfinex, we haven't. So we might really expect for the price action to go a little lower into the reload zone. And this is something that I see, and I believe that this framing of the market is maybe more important than only watching the setups.
Yeah, you can see is that a 4-hourly, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see this. There's sort of a megaphone starting to form there.
Yeah.
But for the point of view of a paper trading sheet, clearly, if you are trying to look for longs, this current market state's not going to make you feel very good because you have a fairly low hit rate. But there's no reason why we can't paper trade any market. the S&P
Of course.
500. So
Yeah.
I would suggest that if people are demotivated by losing their trades and therefore getting incorrect feedback to their competence of their setups, which is actually very damaging, they might think about trading Under Armour and those sorts of things that we've seen examples of on our trading videos from Grim. I mean, it's a very productive thing to try and do, I would suggest.
Okay.
When I met Brian in London, one thing he said to me was, because I told him my situation, that I was I'd cut my hours down to 2 days a week, and today I actually finished my contract completely, so I'm now a full-time kind of trader, so I should hopefully have more time than I had. Well, I'll have a lot more than I used to have, which is really good. And Brian just said to me, he looked really worried, like, I told him the way I worded it was, I said up for this, and he just looked at me strangely, like he was quite, because I've been contracting quite a while, I've got reserves, so I was planning on having a break anyway, so I've probably got 6 months before I'd be worried about sort of income. So in that time, he just said to me, just find a setup, and his exact words were, just trade the shit out of it, do sort of 40 paper trade, nail it, get it. If it's profitable for you, start actually trading. That was just kind of plain what he said to me. Just so I kind of want to understand all of the analysis, but I think the main thing I want to study at the moment is just actually getting the Candy Store stuff just understood, so I can start taking trades.
Do you have any setup of your choice already?
Pardon? Sorry, Carlos, I don't hear you.
Do you have any setup of your choice already?
Well, the one that I've been doing on my paper, I've probably done about 25 paper trades since I've started the course on the 3-step setup. But we've not really done that in the course, so I was using the MACD, the candles, and OBV. Those were the 3 areas that I was using to do my step setup. So I really focus on doing. I want to knock out quite a few of these. And I know you guys are saying it's difficult. The market conditions are tough because it seems like everything's getting completely slammed down. But I don't know. There's quite a lot of shit coins that are still return it. And I think to get a 2-to-1 reward, the coin doesn't up 25% in a day in order for you to trade. Maybe 2 or 3%, 4%. I don't know. I've not checked, but it doesn't have to increase that much in price for you to 2-to-1.
And are you planning to trade stocks, or are you planning to just trade altcoins for the moment? Crypto. Yeah,
just crypto. I think because it's so fast moving. So I think if I can get in trades off of 4 hour. I mean, I like to think I could do 1 hour, but I'm going to just look at 4 hour, concentrate on that for now. And because then you only have to wait a day or two before the trade, whether it's going your way. So I think I'm happy to just post. I prefer actually to post every trade that I'm about to do. Just stick it up in the Slack group and just critique the hell out of it. Tell me if you think it's good or bad.
I think it's better if kind of in 1 week everyone shows what he has accomplished, why he has chosen this trade, whether trade worked or whether haven't.
Yeah.
Because if we read the Slack, you might get comments or not, but if we are accountable to ourselves that we come prepared with either won or failed trade, right? Then everybody is going to ask you, why have you taken it? What was your reason? And you need to think that you need to explain to 4 people why have you taken that trade? And everybody say, is this in your trading plan? And then you say, I don't have a trading plan. Okay, then put this in the trading plan. So it's like we can really kick our asses But I don't think it's enough really to post it. I mean, as an idea, of course. But if we commit to really showing the traits to ourselves, at least one trait per one participant, that's a good start, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe-
but we could still record all the paper trades or
Of course,
whatever, all the trades that we're about to take, and expect some feedback when we post them in the lounge or in the Slack group.
Of course.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a good idea. So we could start this week. Like everyone posts, to the end of the week, 5 ideas or 2 ideas, whatever. They can be, what you guys think? They can be altcoins. They can be crypto. They can be stocks or forex, whatever.
Anything what you are comfortable with. Yeah.
Yeah, anything that of your choice. I think most of us are more inclined to crypto than stocks, but still.
At the moment, yes,
right
but I want to expand to stocks in short term, not short term, mid term.
Yeah, you never know how long this mania will keep on going. So yeah, I think being comfortable with stocks, at least it won't go
I
away.
I need to use my ISA allowance somewhere.
Well, some of at the TRI meetup, some of the and even the tutorial, I think the level 2 guys are doing more stocks. But I think level 1, I mean, for me, my capital is in crypto. I dumped some of my ISA. Well, I dumped my ISAs last year to get the fiat to then invest in crypto. So I think that's my powder, if you like. That's what I've got. That's my capital that I'm going to be using. So I'm not going to be using fiat. So I think if you're using stocks, then you'd have to be investing fiat.
No, you don't have to. You have onebroker.com where you can where you deposit Bitcoin and you trade all the stocks and indices and everything directly with Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I think that's the way that Thomas does and everybody else and the Green. I believe that they are all, not all, but a lot of the trading outside of crypto is done through onebroker.com.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know that. That's good to know. Onebroker.com. I'll take a note of that. Should we maintain a list of, oh gosh, I know we've created lots of channels, but should we create another channel just to put in sort of really useful websites like that? Was it onebroker.com? So I mean,
yeah.
It redirected me to some Brazilian site, onebroker.com.
Onebroker.com. It didn't open for me either.
No.
It opened.
It's one. It's with a number, not with a word.
Oh, right. Okay.
I can see here. It's One Broker.
Oh, I see. We connect Bitcoin with global markets. All right.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Well, it's very simple. They just go to the exchange instead of you going through the exchange, and then they buy and then they work as a regular broker. Very simple. It's just it is just one step that they kind of skip it for you basically, and they're probably taking like a small fee for that. Very simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
That's
good idea. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, it's good to know. Yeah.
Wasn't this at the start of the level 1? One of the there were like a few sites, just like the beginning of level 1, and there was a onebroker.com listed between those.
Yeah, it's not strange. I think I've seen this website before, but I never really used it.
Okay.
But I definitely saw it before. I'm not sure how, but yeah, I've seen it before.
I suppose it is a bit worrying that Grim was saying on Sunday that the coins and some stuff I've read on Twitter as well, some people are saying that the crypto market's not behaving properly at the moment. It just doesn't seem to be following any kind of logical patterns in many things, except like maybe the top 5. One guy even went as far as to say anything outside the coins is just not worth looking at, because it's just almost gambling guesswork. And Grim said as well that any sort of major alt that has a USD pairing with it, a fiat pairing, is definitely going to be much more liquid than something that's just got a BTC or an Ethereum pairing.
Absolutely,
It's like,
but
Yeah, I just think that
it's
because of
also less likely to do a double, right? We need to be aware of this. The bigger the coin, the more trusted the coin, then it becomes almost impossible to do a double. So it goes hand in hand. You cannot.
Yeah, but can doubling happen? But doubling, is it realistic to expect a coin to double right now? I'm not sure if it's. I think that's asking a lot in a bear market.
Eventually people are sharing their some of the coins being.
Exactly.
I think Jacob is sharing some coins that are doubling. It's Joshua. Sorry, Joshua, the TRI Lounge. He keeps on posting ideas which are doubling for him. He's just very good at that. He seems to be buying the bottom. I don't know how much of that is true, but he seems to be very good at buying coins that double.
I believe so. It's like this: if you buy really 50 coins, right? With, let's say, you buy 50 coins with let's say 0.5 % of your trading capital, right? Let's say, then the chances you are getting a double in this kind of market are quite big, because one of them is pumping, but that doesn't mean he's not losing on all of the others. Okay, we need to be aware that getting a double doesn't mean that you can make the whole portfolio of that person is going up.
Yeah, you just diversify enough, and one of them will pop, and eventually you have another mania, and loads of them will be doubling, quadrupling, times 8, times 16, and so on.
When the market turns, right?
Yes.
But going now into alt market and trying to find the coin that is going to double before the whole alt market turns around is like highly improbable. Not impossible, but highly improbable.
Yeah, it's like if you enter early, that means you might be getting more doubles, but logically, yeah, I think you're right. You should be looking into the whole picture and then start buying ideas when everything starts to turn. I think that's
buying now, buying coins now through little old lady strategy is good idea, but we need to be aware that this is little old lady strategy.
That's what we're talking about, because doubles is you're only looking for doubles when you're doing little old lady trading, isn't it?
But then you're kind of buying against the low, and the coins that you're buying right now are going to double maybe in 2 months.
Yeah.
But let's be aware, if the market goes a little bit down, your whole profile and everything you have is going down, and that is where we are now, at least for me, and I believe I'm not alone, right? So we were buying against the low and expecting the market to turn, but the market hasn't turned yet, and that is why we need to be aware that most probably we're doing everything right. We were buying against lows, but we were just wrong that the bottom hasn't come in yet. And that is why I think that it's not wrong. The only thing is maybe that we shouldn't expect to make a profit if the alt market is going down and we are trading little old lady strategy.
Yeah, the whole point of little old lady is that it takes the anxiety away. But yeah, if you're looking at your portfolio every weekend and seeing, oh, it's another 10% down, it's another 5% down, it's another 3% down, then it builds up. But we have to be patient. It's probably for most of us the first down market.
And we are
That's
learning
to look
very fast.
sometimes, or certainly not to look every day. But I think we need to. Well, I think what we should do is just definitely go back to the sort of the course and what Brian said in his lectures, what Grim said in his tutorials. Just get paper trading, learn how to trade. So like Little Old Lady is fine. It's good. Obviously, it's a way of growing your BTC, but it's not necessarily going to teach us how to trade well. It's not going to, because we're not necessarily using all of our kind of knowledge that we've got so far. I definitely want to. I think we should concentrate on initially on the 2-to-1 risk reward
strategy.
Yeah.
Trades until we can get.
That's the approach, of course. But like seeing the portfolio being in red numbers because of the following Little Old Lady strategy is normal, and it's okay. That is what I'm trying. What I'm trying to say is that we are not bad traders if we decided for a little old lady strategy if the market is down. So that is what I'm trying to say, and like trying to be a good trader because you simply are in the moment where one strategy is pointing down is just like it's. I don't think like. So doing separate trades, it's okay, of course, and it's also good to kind of find which trades to trade, right? So the trend continuation trades like bot are completely useless in this market right now. So now we can use something like DAVO, right? Because their DAVO setup is intended for the trade to be taken at the bottom end of the range or up. It doesn't matter. So you kind of find the W and fire the trade. And if paper trading is something that we all are looking at, then we can say like DAVO setup, 1 hour candles, and go 3 months back. Just do everything, and next week you say what's the percentage of how many trades.
Are you talking about going back to say like November?
Well, this is my approach, because taking trades now kind of forces the brain to wanting to take the trade, and whatever you see in the market, you're trying to put the trade that exists onto the market. And establishing the trading plan goes the other way. You choose the trading setup and you trade it so many times that you really believe that it works. And one way is to paper trade. So that means that it just takes like 2 months that you go over and have so many paper trades that you really believe in the setup, or you do your homework and you go 3 months back and you just do like it was today. And you just in 3 months, you see that if you were looking at the DAVO setup all the time, you would make 15 trades, and I don't know, 7 would be profitable. So many wouldn't be, and that's the profit, and so on. And that is how you can really that's how you can manually backtest. Right, so paper trading is doing testing with time, and if you backtest, then you just kind of you can really fast make a lot of trades. They are not exactly the same, so the emotions are a little bit different. But if you specify what the trading setup for you is, then you just kind of see whether it does work or not. And this is backtesting again. I apologize, but from what I see, that everybody's trying to do is like trying to find the setup that kind of works so you can make money, right? And we are trying to find that setup, somebody to tell us look, do this and this and that, and you will have 70% chances. And the Brian is teaching us the opposite way. You pick something and you do your homework. And how you do that homework is up to everyone.
Yeah.
To decide. But going over and doing, look, so I can share with you, I was making a kind of very algorithmic approach to one setup. It's very well defined, and I can share it with you. And I've back tested it on 3-minute candle on Bitcoin, I believe, and it yield around 40% in, I don't know, about 2 months or something, right? And that is how I do things, and it's kind of very intense job, because it's not funny. It's not like buying. It's just going over charts over and over and over, and then you kind of get that number, and it helps. It helps clearing out like what indicators are looking, which one are you looking, like otherwise you're just kind of jumping from one indicator to another, and you always see reasons not to take this trade, and you always see better said, you always see different reasons to take the trade and different reasons to not take the trade.
Yeah.
And that's the problem at the beginning of trading. So there is no structure. It's just jumping here and there and trying to find something that works. And the only way is to really decide to do one thing and just see how well it works.
So you say you choose a setup, and then you speed up your chart, or not speed up, but you get a small time frame and you test that setup. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that works, because
why not?
For instance, if you're trading Forex, they say to look for market structure like W's and stuff, you should be looking for 4-hour candles as opposed to 1-hour candles.
Yeah,
that's
so
one of the examples. So I'm not sure if a DAVO would behave the same way.
I don't know.
As it would in a weekly time frame as on an hourly time frame.
Of course, and that you see when you go over 3 months and you see whether it completely doesn't work or it does. And it's not the setup; it's just the really exact way of taking the setup that produces the number.
Oh, so you're saying you're training yourself to see those patterns?
Yes, and they are very specific, right? So I will look. Just a second. I will look. I will just. Do you see my screen still?
Yeah.
Okay. I will just kind of. So I believe we all have the same problem. We'd like to do something, but there are so many ways to eat this that we don't know where to begin. That's am I alone in this boat?
No.
I was kind of that way last week, but since looking at that screener spreadsheet from Crypto.ru, I was quite shocked at how it kind of focused on, like, it gave me a short list, and I saw something really interesting in 3 of the 4 coins on that short list.
Can you post a link to that screener again? Because I think I lost it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But did you take the trade?
I was watching it late at night on my phone, so no, I didn't. But now I've got lots more time during the day, so I will be taking a lot more of these trades. Yeah. Okay. In fact, I think I posted a few that I was thinking about, but I didn't log them as paper trades.
Okay, so this is I will find it just a second. So like, I believe that, like, looking at the screeners, looking at all of the criteria is always projecting to the brain that there is something on it, but at the end there is a market and you need to pull the trigger, and there is no shortcut. At least I haven't found one. Please continue while I try to find this document. So don't wait for me.
Okay. Just I'm a bit worried that we're sort of an hour and a half here already. I'm not sure if we got exactly what Ralph wanted us to discuss about here, so that he could actually help us with, he seems to be really keen on getting all the goals of the group, as opposed to, like we seem to be sparsely talking about different things here. I'm not sure what you guys would want to discuss, really.
I've got up this TRI study group. How many people have put in? So Dennis, Carl, Steve, okay.
I think everyone's there except for Josh. Oh, not Josh.
So yeah, I mean, is there a common? I read my own and bits of others, but I've not read all of them in detail yet. But is there short-term goals everyone's got? There's quite a few people saying that they want to learn how to use the tools, become skilled.
Talking about the different setups, and I know that ultimately we're all going to have our own that become our favourites because they gel with us for whatever reason. But as a suggestion, would it be worth us as a group all focusing on one setup for, say, a week, hosting trades and then discussing those?
I like the idea.
I think that the only way we can leverage ourselves is to take one trading setup.
Yeah.
And I don't think live trading is wise. Going back, so everyone, 3 months, you on 3-minute candle, you on hour candle, you on this, you on this, you on this, and we do basically what backtesting machine does, but we add up together the hours. This is very coordinated, but this would, I believe, be one of the ways.
Another way this might be the same thing as what you're talking about, Luca, but, or if I understand what you're saying, are we going back to, say, because November was a massive alt run, bull alt crazy season. So I've not actually used the TradingView replay function yet, but I think the 3-step setup is what we've been studying kind of for the last couple of months on all the core of the level 1 course. I would vote for that to be the first setup that we do. That's kind of the
okay.
main setup that we've been getting taught. I mean, is going back to, say, the 1st of November 2017 and just everyone, say, make a target to do 2 paper trades using the setup for next time we meet. That I think we could achieve that. Hopefully it wouldn't take too long.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, so let's try to really. So, what are the ideas now common for the whole group? Let's try to sum up from all of the ideas. What exactly could be the common goal of the whole group? So, what were the ideas? What were the exact ideas? So to paper trades and to put everything to the spreadsheet, right? That was one of the ideas.
I think one common idea is, what you were saying, having one spreadsheet with everyone's ideas, paper trades. We share all our ideas is one of the goals. The second is sort of structuring all our hangout sessions to pretty much know what we were going to discuss about.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would make us stronger as a group.
So going through a checklist almost. So have, like, say, 5 or 6 to discuss and just tick them off one by one. We could plan that several days in advance.
Yeah, I think we could suggest some topics and then go through them. Yeah, it's one of the ideas that I can think of. Sort of structuring our sessions so that we don't really wander about.
Okay, what would be the structure? Let's just be concrete. What would be the structure? Let's just decide and move on. What would be the structure?
To be honest, I don't know, but I could suggest, like as I said before, we could choose, 2 paper trades that we are particularly keen on, and then discuss them on the Hangout session and talk about why we took the trade, and to try to discuss where everyone thinks the idea is going, or maybe one idea each. That could be one of the sessions of this Hangout.
Yeah. So who's going to do the spreadsheet? Because was it Max? In fact, your name shows up as Andy on the screen. Is that deliberate or? Yeah.
Because probably when I started, when I joined it in Chrome, it didn't ask me to log in.
Oh, okay.
So probably.
Because I think, I think
maybe
your name changed.
Maybe it remembers. Maybe it remembers something from cookies, because one of my friends logged in some time ago. I don't know.
Okay. Oh.
Probably. Let me just see.
So we're saying then we're going to do one paper trade logged in the group spreadsheet. And so, Max, did you say you were going to put that spreadsheet up on the Google Drive?
I already put it there, but I haven't removed names and trades which were there. So.
Are we going to use the same structure, or are we going to do a spreadsheet with different sheets for each of the setups and then put the names next to it?
Now, the best idea is just one spreadsheet, and every setup has owner, and that owner is then explains then the setup on the Hangout.
Okay.
I mean, if it's easier to strip the names out of the Grimm's one, because the Grimm's one looks a bit simpler than the one that Max showed on his screen. So I could quickly take out the data in Grimm's, the one that we've been using in Grimm's. There's only about 10, 15 trades in there.
Which one is Grimm's?
I don't know if
you remember that I wasn't part of level 1 with Grimm, so.
Me neither. Okay. Yeah, me neither. I don't know.
Me neither.
Sorry, I assumed you were in the same.
No, and that's basically on our training. Brian mainly was talking about BOT and Eltanganator. He wasn't really talking much about that 3 steps setup, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that either.
I have just opened it because I was trying to find it.
So, Carlos, not familiar with what?
The 3-step setup. Which one is that you're talking about?
It is in the library.
I have just found it. Who's on the current level 1, week 11 with me then? Dennis, you're the same course?
Yeah, I am, but I must have missed the tutorial where he introduced that, because I don't know what it is either.
So it's just, well.
Can you post the links so we all see?
I have just posted, I think, in the Hangout.
Who did?
Okay,
I was for Carlos, but
that's one setup, right?
Yep.
But it's okay. So everyone can use any setup. It doesn't matter.
All right. Yeah, I think whichever you're most familiar with.
Or if you're not or if you're not familiar with anyone, just pick one. Force yourself to pick one.
I thought that Dennis made a good point though. If everybody does a single one setup, that we are picking the same setup, then it would be interesting exploring everybody's successes and failures with that type of setup, and it brings that knowledge together.
Yeah,
but this is like in theory it's a good idea, but you're going to get a setup which is shitty, and you will not be happy doing it, and somebody else is going to be like 80% profitable. It's going to have much higher energy and much more much more will to participate in the group. So I don't think I don't think forcing everyone can choose any setup. Everyone can even choose something which is not a setup, and we will say, hey man, that's not a setup. Yeah, you know, but there was the divergence there. Well, then write it your own way and you name it on yourself. So anyway, but let's try to be as simple as possible.
I think I was thinking the same at the beginning, Luca, but at the moment thinking more about that. If we were to focus on the same setup, for example, for a week, then we can all discuss it with better knowledge of that setup.
Yeah, I think that, Luke, to trample on that
paper trade.
Can you let me speak a minute? To trample on that so quickly, I'm not sure if we've fully explored it. I don't think that if somebody isn't very good at a certain setup, then that is the function of the group to explore why and to see if they've missed something. And I don't think anyone in this group who's at level 1 is going to be absolutely useless as a setup and somebody be 80% profitable, for example. I don't think the gap will be that wide, and I don't think that's necessarily relevant. If somebody is really bad at a setup, there will be room for improvement in the support of the group who will have had a shared experience within that setup.
Yeah.
Everybody will.
May I say something as well? I think both ideas are good. One is a good idea because you force yourself to do something that you're not comfortable with, which is John's idea, and the other one is Luca's idea, which is one of the strengths of a group, which is the diversification of ideas that you could have. So I think both ideas are very valid.
Yeah, but my
why don't we go through each person? Sorry, why don't we go through each person and ask? Give me two. Like, so if I just ask to list two setups that we would find one that's common to. Max, if you had a choice of two setups, what would they be?
What if we have one setup of your choice and one setup that would be a group setup of that week, let's say? So you have to force yourself to do one setup of your choice and one setup that, let's say this week we choose a bot and we concentrate on the bot, or we choose L-Tanganator or 3-step setup, whatever.
Because the idea, the whole idea, I think, for us to be comfortable with all setups. That's why maybe to focus on a single one until we understand it, all of us, or most of us, then we can move to the next one. Otherwise, we will be jumping from one setup to another and without actually achieving good success rate with any of them.
I don't agree.
Okay.
If there is one setup that works, why should you learn 10 others which you're not comfortable with? And
I explain because you need to learn one which works for you, absolutely. But I personally want to achieve something like, let's say, the bear in the house, who sees that this is the setup which is forming, this is another setup which is forming, and I'm taking this one now. So I don't want to wait for days just for this particular one setup when another one is forming.
You need to be aware that if you want to trade like this, then you will start trading your money in 2 years because you need so many trades per each setup to really be comfortable with.
No. What I'm saying,
I'm exaggerating. Okay, so
once you're comfortable with one, you can start trading with real money with one.
And when are you comfortable with one?
When it is profitable paper trading.
Well, let's say you trade 50 paper trades and you get a successful rate which is above 50%. I would say that's a successful.
Exactly, and that's the exact number. That's the exact number that you're targeting. And so it's not like being comfortable, but it's saying 50 trades, and from 50 trades, the success rate is, let's say, 66%, let's say, for example. And now if you're paper trading And if you need to log 50 trades on particular setup to be comfortable with after 50, then you need to wait for 50 trades to get this number.
Okay,
And
well, look, what setup would you
if you have
use?
10 setups, then you need 10 times amount of those paper trades, which is...
Can I pick up on something that was said earlier by Luca, which is that if you're not good at a setup, then you will have practiced a setup that you never become good at, or that you're going to make losses on. I think the idea that Dennis possibly was coming up with was that we have the opportunity to spend 1 week or whatever, or one session on one of these setups. There's not so many of them. If you're not good at it, you might find out why you're not good at it, or you might discover you were missing some point, and therefore you may never have used this setup because you hadn't fully understood it. It's a way of exploring and deciding at the end whether it's the setup for you. It's not to pick that setup and trade it for the next 2 years or whatever. It's just to explore that setup properly within the group, with all the group focusing on that single setup. I mean, there aren't that many that we need to do straight off, I wouldn't say. I mean, it's probably 5 or 6 weeks worth of setups.
I'm slightly leaning towards Luca's idea, because I personally think that if you have a winning setup, yeah, let's say you traded it 50 times and you get like 55-60% success rate, you're making money out of it. Stick with it because it's working. Once it stops working, you try something else. And
then you can add another one, but not having like at the same time a lot of different setups, because it becomes exhausting.
The idea of this group, though, is to you can trade whatever setups you want. Clearly, the idea of this group is to go through effectively. It's a learning group as much as a support group. It's to go through and work out which setups work. And I think there was many of us that will have missed points during the training, and they will only come out if we're all working on something together as a group, as a team, for 1 week each or something. 1 week each setup. The idea isn't to force you to use that setup in the future, but to explore it, understand it, and then at the end of that week, you make a decision whether you want to continue using that setup for your own personal trading.
I think it's a good point. Yeah.
So you're saying then that we're going to do paper trade.
I just make a comment.
I think we should really kind of decide. Let's just vote and let's do something and move on.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, if the all one setup that we want to do, our own kind of, let's just go through it. I've written on my little post-it. So if I start on my screen, Max, what setup would you want to do a paper trade on for this time? Sorry to put you on the spot, but
I know only 2 Eltanganator and BOT. I would say, let's say Eltanganator if I was to choose one.
Okay.
May I say something? Okay, so I'm next. Anyways, the thing is, I'm not familiar with the 3-step setup, so why not start with that one?
Yeah, that's why I was choosing from 2 which I knew about.
All right. Yeah. So,
so
since I'm not familiar with the 3-step setup, I would actually be inclined to choose that one because we have support of other people that have done it before or are studying it, and that can help me. So I would vote on that one.
Actually, I don't mind to join Carlos, to be honest.
Dennis? Dennis, what would you...
well, like I said earlier, I must have missed the tutorial where Grim talked about the 3-step setup, because I don't actually know what that is either. But I'd be happy to look at it. While I've got the camera, let me just clarify the idea that I put forward earlier isn't one that I'm wedded to, and I think actually there's pros and cons for the different approaches that we're both presenting. I think at the end of the day, whether we all did the same setup every week, or whether we all did separate setups and tried to discuss them discuss our own at the end of the week, at some point we're going to come across the same issues. In that you're going to need to have, if we all do a different one, then we're all going to need to have a partial idea of each setup in order to question that person about whether it was valid and why they took it. And you're going to be spreading your knowledge, trying to spread yourself across 7 different setups. Whereas alternatively, if we all did one, then we can use the benefit, and this works both ways. We could use the benefit of the group to help us get collectively to the 50 trades. And whether that getting there as a group is as good as getting there as one person, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good point. It's a valid point. And what we could do is trade for 1 week a particular setup, and then the next week we try something else. But we still bring one idea from the previous setup, so we keep adding on the paper trades. And like as we were saying about back testing, you would have a much bigger number of trades, and you force yourself to do more trades as well.
Yeah.
Are we back testing or are we paper trading?
I think
I'm not sure what's the difference.
I think we're doing both, but in terms of presenting in the group, it would be just a paper trade, because those are live. I think to learn setups, we would be back testing. But at the same time, the question to you, Luca, maybe you can advise me: how can you back test a setup when, for example, first step is talking about high time frame, because you can't do it on the trading view. You can't switch. You cannot switch.
Can you?
So quite a few setups.
Yeah.
Saying the first step, higher time frame, reload zone.
Yeah.
But when you are replaying history on the trading view, you cannot switch time frame.
Yeah, but you can write. You can draw the levels and then replay, and you don't have to replay. You can just let me show you. I do agree it's a hard work though, but it's very simple. Look, I'm going to doing a little bit slowly, but
no, you can squash basically the chart and draw the fibs. Yes, you can do that.
No, you can completely forget about replay. You just go back so much that you don't see what is the next candle.
Okay, so I understand what you mean. Probably, yeah.
Okay, so look, like trading, having a good setup and trading live, it's something we all want. But doing paper trading is waiting for all of the conditions of the market to support the trading setup you're hunting, right? And instead of this, you can just use 8 hours and go back and go like really in 8 hours, you can do 3 months of paper trading.
Okay, I think it doesn't matter whether you paper trade or using real money. So we just here to discuss the trades. So
yeah.
Yes, what are you using? So far, I've got Max with El Tanganator. Carlos is on looking at 3-step. Dennis, put you on the spot. What's your one going to be?
I think it was 3-step.
Yeah.
3-step, okay.
John?
I think Max was voted in the 3-step as well.
Yeah, put /El Tanga and 3-step because I'm not familiar with it.
Okay.
Happy with anything.
I really don't mind which one. My preference, and it is only a preference, and the point I was making is I would just prefer to go through them all over the next 5 or 7 weeks, everyone together, and find their setups, draw their stuff, see how and then discuss them. You don't have to trade it, don't even have to paper trade it, just to really understand for a half an hour of this session, to understand each setup. And everyone bring a chart to the Hangout and say, this is the setup I think is correct. Whether it plays out or not doesn't matter so much. It matters to really understand the setup and everybody discuss what they saw on what market and why it would have worked and why it wouldn't have worked or whatever, and for people to critique it and talk about it. So I don't mind which one. That was my idea that I understood from Dennis, and I thought it was a good idea to really rehearse and drill down and understand the core of what TRI has taught us.
Good
Well,
point.
John,
yeah.
have you done any paper trading yet?
No, I do live
Okay.
trades with very small amounts of money is what I do. I find it very difficult to trade without some skin in the game. For this exercise, though, I certainly would, whichever setup is picked, I would pick a chart. I would look for that setup or pick charts, find that setup, draw it out, say what I think was going to happen, and present it to the group.
Look, what is the one thing we need to prepare for the next hangout? Everybody has its own idea what to do, but let's just decide. It's one setup.
I think that's what Mike is trying to bottom out. Which setup we're going to rehearse this week, and the idea is that we bring one idea each to discuss next week, and then we maybe decide which setup we're gonna try in the week after that.
Yeah, but to calm down, look, we're just starting. I think if we feel that this process doesn't work, we can always adjust, basically.
Yeah, but look, we are 2 hours now into the talk, and I still don't know what exactly to do, because whatever I do it very fast, and I don't know what to do. Still not.
Okay.
Trying to get through everyone to just get.
Yeah, let's finish.
My
Mike needs to finish the. Okay, so Luca, we Mike, can carry on.
Let's just hear me out. See if not do it again. So you said you're happy to try any setup that just for the purpose of this.
I am absolutely, yes. I don't mind
Okay,
at all.
so okay, Luca, what's your kind of preferred setup? What are you going to paper trade for next week?
I don't have any preferred setup. I will just take one. If you, should it be a different, or should it be whatever?
Whatever you want. You just.
Then I'm going for 3 steps because I haven't heard of it.
Okay, cool. And that's as well then. So I guess it seems that I'm the only or I'm the only one that really knows about the 3-step setup. So why don't I just post a chart that actually describes the 3 steps that I've been looking for, and I can tell you just because I've got a little post-it on my screen here. It looks for location first, and that's normally a fib level. Be it MACD.
You're not sharing the screen, but yeah.
Oh,
Instruction.
I mean, on my monitor, I've got a post-it stuck to my monitor that tells me what, just to remind myself of what it is. It looks. The 3 steps are: find location, which is fibs; find momentum, which is a MACD divergence or an OBV divergence; then look for market structure, which is M's, W's, or candle structure.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
delivery. That's
All right,
delivery.
Those are the 3. It's just covering the 3 things.
This is the framework for setups. This is not a setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I thought you meant the one which I posted in the group now in Hangout, because it is called 3-step setup.
Yeah. Okay. I see. So this, what you're talking about is location, momentum, and structure. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
This is any setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. So have we got everyone to? So does everyone know enough? Or
Whatever setup you want. It's like the goal for the first hangout or the second or the third is just that we move the wheel and we start to be there on time.
Yes.
let's do that.
You are the first. Show me what you've done this week. You are second. Show me what you've done this week. You. What's the comment on this? Comment on this. Comment on this. And if we get this structure right, it doesn't matter what we throw into. We're going to be effective and fast.
It's taken us 5 minutes to get to this, but yeah, that's what I've been saying. Let's do it.
Okay.
Next week.
So it's like one setup. So each of us is preparing one setup that he is explaining why he was taking it. Paper trading or paper trading, backtesting, any setup, whatever.
Okay.
But are we
tomorrow
going to have one setup that we choose, or are we just choosing any that we're?
It looks like we're choosing any.
Whatever.
No, we're choosing the 3-step setup.
No,
Whatever. Good. Cool. Take it.
Let's do. Come on, we don't want to fall out. We don't want to have a big argument. So just
Look. We everybody's going to show something, some kind of setup, some kind of logic, and everybody is going to comment on that setup, and we're going to learn from this. And we don't have to force one setup. We are if one setup is turning out to be better than the other, then we're going to slowly switch them. No?
yes.
okay. So who's going to pull up to knock up the spreadsheet to store it in and put it on Google Drives? Or Max, did you want to sort of delete?
I
the
already
data
put
on...
the one. I didn't remove the names. I already put
Okay.
the one which I showed, but you started talking about Grimm's one, which I don't have access to. So I
Maybe share that one with us, and we see which one we're gonna take. But not now. Just throw it in the Slack chat, and we discuss it later, maybe.
But I uploaded the one, so you can see how it was working there with all the names and trades which are there.
Where does that live? Because I'm looking.
I put it into trading plans, I think.
Oh, okay, trading plans. Oh, you've got to double-click folder names in this. Okay, so I'm looking in the trading plan. There's an individual trading plan.
No, there's a file which is called Date Traders Plan.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Am I looking at the right Google Drive then? Because I've got, it's called TRI UK Study Group.
Yeah, so there's a folder in there which is called Trading Plan.
Yeah.
Inside that there is a Day Traders Plan.
Oh, I don't see that.
Oh, that's weird.
Let's refresh.
Did you maybe copy to your local Google Drive? Because you need to be accessing the shared one.
Yeah, I don't use Google Drive, so this must be the shared one I'm looking at. So I'm trying to refresh my screen just to...
No, you don't have to refresh. You have on the left, you have shared with me.
Oh, it's come. I see it now. I hit F5 and now I can see it. So maybe my browser had done something silly. So the Day Traders Plan, right? That's the sheet we're gonna...
That's the one which was used in the Day Traders, and you can see that it's quite convenient because it has all the links to different trading plans, trading setups, sorry, in the top, and then it shows you the idea how it was done there.
So what are those dates on the left-hand side?
The dates on the left-hand side, basically because it was Day Traders, day trading group.
Okay.
So every day there was supposed to be a trade every day.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we can remove that column, or just we can have still those because we are going to discuss it every week. So we will have basically trades for. So for example, I could make just 1 trade or 2 trades a week. Somebody makes 3, so 4 or 5.
Okay, cool.
I'm just laughing at some of the comment here because Jacob's saying he was on paternity leave, and then some of his other days where he wasn't trading, he said something like missing in action. Oh shit, I can't.
But you could see from that spreadsheet how committed he is. He is still doing that daily.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's the only person committed there.
He's maybe doing it in the middle of the night when the baby wakes him up. So.
Yeah, he told me that basically he does it several days, and he wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning and does that.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Anyway, I think we have a plan.
I'm gonna have to sign off. So we got a plan for next week.
I think we have a plan for next week. We just bring any sort of particular paper trade that we're happy with or that we're not quite sure, and discuss here next week. Yeah.
Cool.
Moving forward, I think we need to have an agenda so we move quicker than 2 hours.
Yeah. I think we should put a limit to sort of 9 o'clock so that we discuss an hour and a half and that's it.
Yeah, but we need to kind of make a structure, something like everybody has like a few minutes to explain what he did on that particular setup, and then and then like the others have each 1 minute to comment, and we move on. Not yeah, but this got 1 minute, and we will learn. We will learn. Otherwise, we're going to just talk.
I love Luca.
But by the way, will Raf join us next time? What did he say?
And if he will see us all having one setup and everybody else commenting, and he also commenting, I don't know what else a mentor should really want from the group than this kind of order.
He'll love it. He'll love us. He'll love us if we do that.
And it's very simple. One, so why was the trade taken? Which setup? What was the risk? What was the reward? Did it work or didn't it work? And then first comment, second, third, fourth, ref says its own, and on to the other one. Chop, 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 chop. And 1 hour is going to disappear like this, people.
Cool.
Okay, chaps. Until next week.
Good.
All right, let's
Sign
wrap
off.
it up. We have a plan.
See you guys.
Rock and roll.
Cheers,
Cool.
guys.
Cool. Thanks,
Great.
everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Night.
Cheers.
I'm gonna share the
Bye.
YouTube link so you guys can view it again if you want to see the recorded session.
Nice one. Cheers.
Cool.
Good
Cheers.
night all.
Bye, guys.
See ya.